I have no idea if I'm going to actually post this film, but I thought now I've started the ball rolling, I'm going to film everything that I cook. I'm just going to take that so you can see it. I'm starting, so tonight I'm cooking, I had some Calabrian sausage. Sounds like Nigella, don't I? I had otters' noses in the fridge, but I had some Calabrian sausage and I've got some haddock that was in the freezer, some haddock fillets. So I am going to do kind of a spicy haddock with chorizo. It's not chorizo, it's Calabrian sausage. Anyway, you can tell I'm out of practice. In my pan, I am cooking the sausage on a low heat. I've taken it out of its skin and I've crumbled it up. I am, out of shot, slicing up some shallot, which I will add to it, along with some thinly sliced garlic. The other thing I've done is the haddock that I've defrosted. I always use these sort of clean J-cloths too, because when it's frozen, it's full of water. So I do like to put it on one of these cloths to absorb a lot of the water. Also, about 15 minutes before cooking, I have sprinkled it with salt on both sides. And I don't know if you can see, I've also put some lemon zest. Salting it about 10 or 15 minutes before you cook it, as well as adding flavour to the fish, helps hold the meat together, so it's less likely to fall apart when you're cooking it. Top tip. I like my cooking videos to share cooking insights rather than exact recipes. So this Calabrian sausage I've never cooked with before, and tasting is really important. So I have just tasted a little bit, and actually it is lovely and it's got a lot of heat. But whilst cooking it, it's unlike a chorizo, which releases a lot of oil. This has not released a huge amount of oil. So I'm now going to add a splash of olive oil. It does smell lovely. I've got some shallots, banana shallots, which I'm going to put in. And I know I talk about this all the time. I've got my truffle slicer and the garlic clove. This will really thinly slice the garlic clove. I've got the heat on low now because I don't want the garlic to burn and I don't really want the onions to burn. And I'm just going to pop that in. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to cook. Give it all a good stir. If you're using a non-stick pan, my new favourite implement, because I do use a lot of these silicone spatulas, but Lakeland, sorry to promote somebody, I'm not being paid, I promise, nobody even knows who I am, but these are Pruli scrapers. They're fantastic. They come in a pack of 2. Well, actually I bought these 18 months ago, so I don't know if they still sell them, but if they do still sell them, they come in a pack of 2 and they are wonderful for pans that aren't non-stick. I swear by my iron pan. It's the only pan I brought with me. I cook everything in it. It's incredible heat transference. I don't really like non-stick because it's so wasteful, because you lose the non-stickiness and then you have to buy another pan, and I can't stand that. I find it really upsetting. Okay, I'm just going to cook that for 4 or 5 minutes until it's nice and soft. Ooh. At this point, preheat your oven to 180 degrees. I'm no longer cooking for a family and friends, so a couple of tips. Don't scrimp on your tomatoes. I always buy muti, I don't know how to pronounce it. I also no longer buy chopped tomatoes. I much prefer to buy these lovely whole plum tomatoes. I just squeeze it through my hands. I would say if you're cooking for 4, you can use the whole tin. I'm going to use about half the tin, and I'm going to save the rest for something else tomorrow. I love this. I am not afraid to get my hands dirty. There we go. It's still on a low light. I am going to have to rinse my hand. This has been cooking for a couple of minutes. I'm just going to taste it because tomatoes, I've got a feeling, I haven't seasoned it yet, and tomatoes love salt. Remember, you can always add more later, so I'm starting with a generous pinch of salt and some pepper. I think I'm also, I know they're Italian sausages, not Spanish, but I'm really missing the paprika, so I'm going to add some paprika and some dried oregano. If your sauce gets too dry, add a splash of water or a splash of chicken stock. I have lightly oiled a baking tray. I'm going to pop my haddock fillets. They're not very thick, they're not going to take long. I'm going to put them in the oven for probably, think about it. I'm going to just put them in for maybe 6 minutes because I'm going to finish them off on top of the sauce. Now at this point also you want to check your sauce. And if you want some more heat, which I always do, I'm going to add a few little sprinkles of dried chili flakes. The other things that are going to go in the sauce just towards the end, before the fish goes on to warm through, are, I've got some pinto beans. Again, I'm not going to use the whole tin because I am not cooking for lots of people. I will just add enough beans that I want to eat. You could at that point stir through rocket, you could stir through spinach. I don't have either of those in my fridge. I've got some, what's it called? It's cabbage, it's Savoy cabbage. So finely shredded Savoy cabbage, all of which, while this is in the oven, I'm going to actually stir because it's Savoy cabbage. If you're using the spinach or rocket, you would just fold that through at the end because it really doesn't need to cook, it just needs to wilt a bit. But I'm going to stir my Savoy cabbage through the sauce while this is in the oven. I'm now at the last stage. I have put some little dabs of butter on top of the haddock. You don't have to put butter, but the fact is I love butter, and I'm going to pop this in the oven for about 6 minutes. Ooh. There we go. While the fish is in the oven, because I'm using cabbage, I'm now going to add my cabbage to the sauce, and I'm going to let that heat through for the cooking time of the fish. My sauce looks like it's drying out a bit. As I've said before, you can either add some water or I've got some little bit of chicken stock. It's not a huge amount. It's probably 4 tablespoons, which is about 60 ml. I hate doing measurements. It's all about just visuals, looking at it and knowing what you need. So I've just put in a little bit more liquid because the cabbage needs it. My fish is out the oven. The way to tell if my fish is cooked is I put a knife into the middle and I hold it against my lip. It's warm, it's just right. My sauce is bubbling away. I'm now going to add enough beans for me. I'm not draining them because I'm quite happy to just have the brine mixed in. So that's stirred into the sauce. It smells divine. I'm now going to, bear with. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get my lovely slice and I'm going to just pop this fish. Now, this is what I was talking about before. When you salt it, the fish has held together. I'm just going to sit this fish now on top of the beans and let it warm through for a couple of minutes before I serve it. The finished dish, warmed plate. I'm going to put the sauce on the bottom of the plate. Next, this lovely fish. Oops. Okay, it has fallen apart now, and my lighting's really off. The fish will sit on top. I've got some, actually no, before the parsley. You can either finish it with some extra virgin olive oil, or I'm going to finish it with a little bit of chili oil. Put your finger over the top so you don't get too much. This is habanero chili oil from Yellow. I don't know if you can see that. And then a tiny little sprinkle of parsley and, oh gosh, that's hot, some pepper. And there we are, if you can see that. Enjoy!